Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Simon here with another episode of Naruto here to react to, and yeah, as we are moving through the battle, last episode it did stink a little bit of potential filler, because a good quarter of the episode was taken up by the recap from the previous episode, just going through the battle, and some of you said to me in the comments, welcome to the negative side of Naruto, which tends to be, sort of these long recaps and Sakura being fairly negative or moaning or not doing much. That's not to say that, Naruto is a bad show. It just means that it's got its negative aspects to it. Like anything, there's things that you can pick apart and, presumably that's what, people tend to find a little bit annoying about this show, which is far from, the worst thing that it could have. If the only complaints are you've got one annoying character or one character who can be annoying, and, the filler obviously is filler, I don't think that's terrible. I definitely think that with regards to the filler coming up later on, when it gets that big stretch, I probably will just give it a miss. It's too much to watch on my own time. And, I don't want to take a massive break sort of just to watch the filler myself. So I'll probably just go from whatever episode it is in the 140s straight through to 219 or 220. And, finish Naruto off that way and then move on to Shippuden. But again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is only episode 9. So, last episode was pretty decent anyway. The fight, although not too much time passed, we saw some interesting stuff with, Kakashi getting captured in Zabuza's water prison, which he couldn't escape from, and that immediately kind of, put the group on the back foot, because you've got these three kind of, junior ninjas who can't really do all that much. They've got a lot of heart, they've got a lot of motivation, they've got a lot of determination. At the moment, though, their skill lacks a little bit in comparison to, the likes of Kakashi and Zabuza. So, we learn a bit more as well about the backstory of the village in the mist. It sounds like perhaps the village itself wasn't like a bad village, but there's been an evil that's taken over it ever since Zabuza showed up on the scene, and that's kind of caused a lot of problems for people. And he definitely doesn't seem like he's a redeemable character. No doubt he's skilled, no doubt he's a very good ninja, but it doesn't sound like he's a good person or he has any good in him. So, maybe he's going to be a recurring villain. Maybe he's only going to affect this arc, who knows? It'll be interesting to find out, and it'll be interesting to see how this fight concludes, because it is still at this point just the three, sort of Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto against Zabuza, and Kakashi is still stuck in the prison. So it'll be interesting to see how they get out of this. So we're going to jump in. Before we do, I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon super supporters: Frank Tremel, Karen Abel, Ace, Nick Walters, The Seven Deadly Sins, Damon Smallwood, Michael Y, and IrishCal. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's see what happens next. There they go. It would have been funny to see Naruto die through different methods. Like, one hits a tree and breaks his neck, another gets stabbed, Yes, he will, because we know what's happening next. I'm seeing Sasuke as very much like Sigourney Weaver's character from Galaxy Quest at this point. She's like, I've got one job on this stupid ship, and I'm going to do it. It's just to repeat everything. He's got to release the... Yes, there we go. Kakashi's out. Oh, and he did. He just nicked him on the eye. Oh, nice. With his own bare hand. I don't know how it didn't chop his whole hand off, but He's pissed.
You've really grown, haven't you?
In the, like, 2 hours we've been on the road.
Shadow clones, that was just to distract him. One was me.
It's impressive that not only did he know it was Naruto, but he came up with the double shuriken plan.
Windmill of shadows!
That wasn't in the game plan. I just wanted to get
I like how they just stood here whilst he explains this.
I didn't know his clone would be wrecked too. Ha!
The fight just pauses for the explanation.
Frag, you just lucked out. The whole thing was just a fluke!
The fight is still going.
But their teamwork was flawless.
You weren't distracted. You were forced to let go.
Yeah. You got beat by a kid. Channeling my inner Naruto there.
Your technique worked on me once.
It's always a surprise, isn't it? Oh. He's going to try and chop his hand off.
The Sharingan.
Oh. That's nice. That was a long... I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's like they're playing patty cake or something. Okay, so they're just cancelling each other out. No? Did he add something in?
The Sharingan can comprehend and replicate the enemy's technique. However,
Can he add stuff to it? Who's that? That was a... That looked like an old woman. They're moving exactly the same. Like, it's as though he's...
He's not just following. He moves the same way at the same time.
Yeah, he's completely mirroring him.
What's he doing that? How, Sasuke?
when I finish with you, you'll never open that monkey mouth again.
Wow.
What is that?
Oh, you didn't do that? Is he going to make him fight himself? He's... What? He just did something that he's not seen.
I was just about to create a vortex.
Oh, he's able to now. He can step ahead of him.
He copies my jutsu before I can even do it.
Again, who is that? Shuriken! Oh, right in the extremities.
Yes. This is your last battle.
Oh shit, kill him! Oh, who did that? That wasn't him. There's the woman.
It was his last battle.
Who are you? She's got the water, the mist village symbol. Don't tell me she's the Hokage. Oh. I think he's dead. 2 spikes to the neck will do that to you.
Vital signs.
I've been tracking Zabuza for a long time.
Okay.
For the chance to finally take him down.
Are you one of the students?
Your mask. I see that you're a tracker ninja from the village hidden in the mist.
It's the same village he's from.
Yet he's an elite assassin.
But, no, that's a girl, isn't it? Yeah. If they can kill Zabuza, imagine what they can do to you, Naruto.
Zabuza was huge and powerful like some kind of monster.
Hmm.
This kid, who's no bigger me. He brought down Zabuza with one move, like it was nothing.
So why are you so mad?
Take us.
In this world, there are kids who are younger than you. And yet, stronger than me.
That's fair. I guess natural born talent is the thing. Training techniques.
He's gone, Naruto. Let it go.
But hey, your mission was a success. You protected the bridge builder.
I can't believe it.
Jesus, you've got some issues, Naruto.
Naruto.
Like, he wants to be at the top. Straight away. He doesn't comprehend the idea of learning. Look at the positives. You succeeded. You won the fight. You saved the bridge builder.
Our mission yet.
You did really well.
Get the bridge builder. All right, let's get a move on.
Surely there's not a worse enemy out there than Zabuza. What? Kakashi?
What happened?
Okay, so... Is Kakashi dead? Was he poisoned? Did his link with Zabuza and then Zabuza dying have an effect on him? Was he worn out? I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what happened. He just collapsed. And it wasn't like a, oh, I'm feeling faint kind of collapse. It was a sudden heart-stopping, almost like his name was written down in the Death Note kind of collapse. Okay, so one thing I just want to kind of draw a point to my only issue of confusion in this episode. The kid from the village hidden in the mist, the assassin who killed Zabuza. I assumed that was a female because they look like a female, they dress like a female, they sound like a female, but everyone seems to be referring to the character as a he. And there's certainly been no sort of indicators that this character is male. And I'm just kind of confused about that. You know, if it's a case of it's a sort of feminine looking male character, fair enough. If it's, you know, a trans character, fair enough. I'm just confused as to how they are able to determine that it's a male character when, you know, everything seems to point to the other direction. It's not a massive thing. I'm just confused about it. But other than that, I mean, the fight was really good, you know, and this kid who killed Zabuza, I mean, that was pretty impressive, you know. The stuff that he can do, pretty impressive, and it pissed Naruto off, no mind. I mean, Naruto, for me, definitely has issues. I mean, he doesn't grasp the concept of you cannot be the number one ninja straight away, you know? You're not going to be on everyone's level. Like, it's like Kakashi said, there are ninja out there who are younger than him, but are more skilled. It's all down to a number of things, you know. You could have a different training regime that pushes you more advanced. You could have better trainers. You could have more natural talent, you know. Some people are naturally slower to mature into their power. And obviously Naruto gets frustrated whenever he sees anyone doing better than him at his same stage of development that he's in. And I think I can certainly appreciate that, you know. It's a weird kind of resonation with me that I think it's definitely a partly human condition to be frustrated that someone else is doing better than you in a similar field. You know, I think even the best of us feel that kind of envy at some point. It's just how you allow it to manifest. And, you know, Naruto's going to have to really deal with that. But, you know, Kakashi was obviously impressed with him, with how far he came, and I thought it was really impressive the way that he swapped out the shuriken for himself, and the synergy between him and Sasuke is very impressive as well, because, you know, they had no idea. I mean, he says he knew that was Naruto, but Naruto didn't have any idea what Sasuke would do at that point. Sasuke didn't really have much of an indicator as to what to do. He had to just go off the top of his head. He had to improvise, and they did really well. And it was enough to distract him, or, you know, to make him drop the water prison and win the fight. Although I had to laugh because there was a couple of points where I laughed here. Firstly, the exposition from Naruto about how he did everything mid-battle. Like, you know, you realize Zabuza's still there. They're still locked together in the middle of battle. And we're just getting like this 2-minute period of like, this is how I did it. It's like, okay, when is Zabuza going to move and chop someone's head off? Because I don't believe he would stay and just listen to Naruto brag. And then the other bit I laughed, and you know, I know I shouldn't laugh because it's trying to be serious, but when they were doing the chakra and they were doing all of these sort of, you know, hand signs and the chanting, and it sounded like they were playing a game of patty cake when it came together and they were both doing it. So I found it quite funny. You know, it wasn't meant to be disrespectful, but I just found it so funny because it was so unexpected. And I guess some things sound better in a sub because the Japanese inflection is, you know, like naturally it sounds funnier in Japanese when a character screams and shouts and, you know, goes crazy than it does in English because, you know, it's just the way of speaking. You know, you're not used to the Western style voice being that over the top. And so I guess it can also be like a similar thing in translation with, you know, the style of scene that, you know, they were doing all these hand gestures and the, you know, chanting. It probably sounded better in the sub. I just kind of found it a bit funny. But other than that, it was a decent episode. Another kind of 2-3 minute long recap, which really is unnecessary. It's like, especially so because I'm watching these very close together, like sort of a day apart. I really don't need the recap to be that long, but I appreciate that at the time, you know, there's a week between episodes, you know, you probably do need to catch up. But I mean, you know, you're taking up like 10-20% of the episode with a recap of the last episode. It's really not necessary. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode, a good conclusion to the fight. I wasn't expecting Zabuza to die. That was a bit of a surprise. And yeah, some confusing elements, but some good elements as well. So, enjoyed it. Anyway, let me know what you thought of that in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.